Hey Minan, we have the patient here that has an ileostomy and part of his intestine herniated out underneath, so we're going to send him out.
Okay, we'll call for the rescue ambulance to meet you at the bottom. Praying for you all.
You know, if you're just hiking for the fun, it's beautiful and it's a challenge. But when you're trying to save people's lives, it's a race between life and death.
But imagine being sick and having to hike. I mean, those of us in our Western environments, we stay home and stay in bed, you know, but in order for them to get help, they are hiking or somebody's carrying them. We have people that walk days to get here.
This clinic is the only clinic in the mountains in this area. Before the clinic was here, their options were either they would use their traditional medicine, they would use witchcraft, or they would just die.
Lang ko magbiag dyan nga at sakot biag kaya ko lang maguna do tagna si Indo baka si ama mabasagi banal maglilibas bulan maglilibas taon maya nato atin unang misyonary na nato dyan pang nagsugi jud daman mag misyonary kaya to ang pang manabangkay mga tao ato bagong yan atin tempo sa atin misyonary sang mono magulit jud adto Amerika. Kinadoanan lang, masakit natin ama ko. Bukong ko, ama, magbiag ko nga. Kung ko niya, nga, ko niya, ko'y nginang ko kami natin sinugidya. Tinulos si atin misyonary ko niya ang badya. Kuan na din ko kaya ato, dyan lang gutlong sudya. Dan ko niya, misan matay ko kasi may paglipati atin mga misyonary. Siyama atin mereklam dinibit kasi tarikutan sa matari ko ini limbang kasi pa ulit bagong yan mapon atin indok ko nangalit sanglay uguli iya maya dut karamut ya nak kung ko indok taka magsali ka kahit kiyama kanya diki kanya kainginan ko balang kami kanya kainginan ko balang kami kainginan ko hindi ko tirangan kami samat atin binatat ama mo mandi kanya tinirangannya kisuk dakam kami mandi ko nyan tengah gabi abo masakit siya banar po ulit, masakit po ulit. Bago mag-shock siya banar, bago mag-shock ko siya nagbanar. Kung ko, ano, ampo ka mag-shock ko, kanya magkaroon ng kumadin niya. Kung ko, marinak nga indo, asin ari ko, mandi ko ba, kalam ka naman, mandi ko, kalau di kayo magbiag kay. Si Auntie Landy, baka si Pastor Kin. Alay ko niya kasi may paglipati atin, minsan dun dyan at lungsod dyan, dun naman milang atin, magpulit dyan nga. Ista ko ba ang kuhanin naman nila po. Pagsulayan ko dun, maging makasin na ang panglipatan natin din ko sa wadiki. Matay ko lang ko. Mura ako malipatan natin yung ko. Sakot, tiban. Sakot, tihadsan din tayo. Ba't tabangat mga misyonary. Sakot, nasurang kay si Ampo. Na may apulan, pagingin na tao.
I feel, very, very humbled that I get to be part of this story. There's more and more and more of those stories out there. And I cry. When you've invested a lot in people, it just touches you really deeply.
My experience here has made me realize, I guess, how fragile life can be. because things for these people can change from one day to the next. They can be fine one day, and the next day they can be bit by a snake and dying. I've seen a lot more death here than I ever saw in the States, and that can get hard to deal with. It's sad, especially when you see people die that don't know Jesus yet.
However we touch people, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, that we're aware of being God's hands, His heart for these people. And so like, even little kids going by or whatever, a loving touch is speaking volumes to them. They don't experience that at home. They see a hand move and it's a flinch.
But it's also exciting to see the ones that Jesus heals and to see how He makes them better, and especially if they give Him the glory, like if they realize that it's Him that made them well, and it's neat to see the miracles that God works.
It's interesting, sometimes people back in the United States, they'll ask and they'll say, "Are you having fun?" That doesn't seem like an appropriate question. It's sort of like asking somebody who's been to the war saying, "Did you have fun?"
Hey Ivan, how's it going?
Not well. He's declining fast. I hope we make it before dark.
True religion, basically put in a nutshell, is really caring about people, the people that nobody else cares about. Ultimately, I like to say, my purpose is to see people in heaven. If I can baptize them and they never make it to heaven, what have I accomplished? Nothing at all.
I could say honestly, we loved these people before we ever met them. And the more we've invested, the deeper that love has grown.
Our next door neighbor, he got sick and he realized since we weren't here and the clinic wasn't open at that time, he had to get out of the mountains and get to medical help. Well, he hiked all the way out of the mountains and he got to the trailhead, and that's where he died. We had a girl that they carried her all the way up, and she was buried by the trail there. She came within half a mile of the clinic, and that was it. She didn't make it.
How does that affect you?
Well, you just, I guess when you see that kind of thing, at first I was going to say, well, you sort of get used to it, but I guess you don't get used to it. These people are like our family.
I don't know, how do you measure how much you love someone? I guess how much you're willing to give up for them. How much are our birth children willing to give up to be parted from us all these years? It's very much just a part of who we are as a family.
Every one of us eventually will die. Some people will die and all they have is a bunch of belongings and some money in the bank, and that's it. I want to invest somewhere where it's an investment for eternity, because if it's just money and things, that's going to all burn up someday. But I want to invest in the bank of heaven that pays dividends throughout the ceaseless ages. I want these Palawanas, I tell them over and over again, when the earth made new, you guys are going to be my neighbors. We're going to be living in a new Palawan. We're going to be living together. We're going to live together forever.
So when the going gets really hard, I think that's what keeps me going, is for that prize at the end and for the affirmation of Christ. Well done. Our hope, desire, and deep prayer is that when He's done with us, there's others to take up the banner and keep moving.